conversations on this podcast with individuals who are a part of or becoming a part of the top 5% of individuals who are dare to dream big and pursue their goals relentlessly. And today's 5% topic is all about Anderson and how he's an entrepreneur and a professional dancer, and how he's been able to be very successful, not just at home where he started in the US, but also right here in the Dominican Republic where we are today. And so thank you and welcome, Anderson, to our 5% podcast.
Thank you for inviting me too.
Yeah, I'm so excited to learn more about you and what you've done. So, but before we begin, maybe you can just share a little bit about who you are, in terms of just some stats, like, you know, your, where you started, where you were born, and give some of that sort of details.
Okay, I was born in Haiti, and I moved to the US when I was like 18, 19, somewhere there. Mm-hmm. And I started dancing, and I was doing ballroom dancing, more Latin and ballroom dancing there. And by that, I realized that, wow, I've never known the dancing was something more like a business. I thought dancing more like something fun. You go to the club and dance something. And I realized that's something I can pursue for a long time.
So you only realized once you went to the US that
yes,
dancing was,
oh,
wow.
That business about dancing when I get to the US, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of always like dancing at a party and having a good time as well. But it's awesome that you were able to realize that it could be something that you could build a business through.
You know what? And I realized when they pay me to dance, by the way. We have a dance party I go every Friday night, and they pay me $25 at that time to dance with all the students there. I'm like, wow. That's a good thing. I didn't know you get paid to dance. I mean, I was paid to learn, but not really paid to dance with people. And that's where I started really, and I say, oh wow, I think I'm gonna start really dancing a lot more, but I can make more money to this.
Yeah.
But it wasn't a lot of money at that time. It was just $25. But when you start giving you to training you to become better and better at the same time to become a teacher, and they start paying you per every class that you teach.
Okay. So did you end up pursuing something more formal beyond
Yeah,
this?
in the long term, like after a year or two, yes, I start getting to more professional level, and I start seeing more people competing professional across the US, and then after that, you go international. And it takes a long time to get there, but I started learning, and it become more like a profession.
Yeah.
A professional thing that I can do for a long time, for future and everything, yes.
Awesome. So outside of dancing, because I know you mentioned that you are also an entrepreneur in terms of business. So did you pursue like any sort of formal education to determine how and where your path would lead you in terms of work?
Yes, when I was started dancing, I was in civil engineering school to be a civil engineering person. But from there, I was dancing.
Totally opposite things.
Completely opposite. And I was doing those two together at the same time, full time. And I realized my body can give me more than my brain.
But in a good way, too.
That doesn't mean you cannot live without your brain. Your brain is the top thing of your body and everything. But I mostly focus on my physical part of it. Yes. And I used that for about 15 years. And after that, I started getting to real estate.
Oh.
Buying house, repair and sell, things like that. That's how.
That's sort of my speed. That's what I largely do as well, real estate
Yeah.
investing. But that's unique too, the way you're doing it, because you were taking chances every time you bought. You were doing sort of flipping, you mean?
Yes, I was flipping first.
Yeah.
I was flipping, buy one house and fixing it and rent it. After 2 years, sell it. Okay. And that was the first one. The second one, I do 2 the following year. I do 3 the following year, and then I started getting in bigger and bigger and bigger.
Wow. And this was all in the U.S.
All in the U.S.
So what state were you in?
I was in Cleveland, Ohio.
Okay, yeah,
Yes.
Cleveland, Ohio is a great state for that type of
Yes.
transaction, right? To do flips.
Yes, because a lot of people start moving to Ohio, especially Columbus and Cleveland,
Yes.
during that time. Because
Okay. And so you were successful at that, and it produced enough, I guess, to propel you to do more, or like where did you go from there?
the more
Like more in real estate, because not like I don't think you still do flips today.
yes, I let me go back a
Okay,
little bit. Let me
yes.
go back a little bit. That doesn't come just me wanted to buy house and flipping house. One of my friends was doing it.
Ah, okay.
And
So,
when I see he have a good set of income,
yes.
he have 7 houses at that time he rent.
Okay.
I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money
Yes.
to make, just renting a house. I mean, and he explained to me how he started, and I said, okay, but I have enough money to do more than that at that time.
Okay.
And I started buying house, and good thing also, I'm very handy.
Okay.
And
Well, you did talk about being a dancer and doing things with your body, so that makes sense.
Yeah,
So you can actually do some of the
I'm
construction.
very handy. I
Okay.
started use a lot of YouTube, by the way.
I love YouTube. Too much constant education on YouTube.
I use
That's
a
right.
lot of YouTube,
Yeah.
and Facebook Market was my top one to buy all the things
things
that's
that you
very cheap, wood, material, and everything.
Wow. Yeah.
And think that instead of going to Home Depot, spending a lot of money buying, I use Facebook Market to buy stuff to build.
I never even thought about Facebook Marketplace for building materials, so that's awesome.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is even tire. I bought a lot of tire. I bought the wood. I bought primer. I bought paint. Everything on Facebook Market.
Wow, that's awesome. So obviously, when you're cutting your costs substantially, right, or you're cutting out the middleman, so to speak, because you don't have Home Depot who has their markups, that improved your ROI, right? Your
Yes,
bottom line.
yes, because you can see, if you can spend $30,000 in a house to repair, if you buy at Home Depot, you can spend maybe 20,000. Buy it on Facebook Market or buy from somebody that have leftover material. This is the way myself I would think how we
Okay.
can save more and to make more.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a business mind. You already had that framework thinking. Plus, you learned quickly how to make money dancing. You could make money by cutting out some of your
Making money dancing is the greatest thing, but you spend a lot of money also
training and
to get there.
okay.
Okay, because for you to making money to dancing, you have to compete professional.
Yeah.
By competing professional, you have to get a name behind you.
But so let's see. Did you leave dancing at any time while you were doing the
Never.
No.
Never.
Okay.
I left a part of the dancing when I moved here. Because ballroom has a lot of dances to it.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm gonna say at least 18 or more dances, you don't have to teach all of them. You don't have to know all of them. But if you really want to learn all, you can. That means me, I learn all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were inclined. So I think all of it makes sense because then you have the breadth of
You
what,
can
like
take
everything.
customer from
Yes.
different. That person might want swing.
Yes.
That person want waltz. That
Yes.
person need tango. That
Yeah.
person. People mean different things. What they come from.
And you're probably skilled because I don't know that I could learn or everyone could learn all the dances and be good at it, but maybe that was something that was more natural for you.
I was not good at all,
Yes.
but I was good at most of them.
Most, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
I mean, there are a lot. There's some of them you do because the student asks for it, not because you love it.
Okay.
Because the one you're good at, that's what they like.
Yes.
So
No,
then,
makes
yes,
sense.
yes.
So let's go back to Cleveland,
Okay.
Ohio. Did you keep any of the transactions that you made? Like most flippers, most people flipping usually buy, fix up, sell. Did you keep any when you decided to leave Cleveland, Ohio, or Columbus?
At the beginning, yes. At the end, I sold all.
Okay, so you eventually.
I sold all for a reason. It's
Yes.
not because I wanted to.
So what was your reason?
The reason is the market.
Ah, okay.
And
what
I
time?
have
Maybe give us a
houses-
time period. What time?
That was 2 years ago.
period? Okay, so yeah, so just
2000
post-COVID.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. because when the market keep going up, some houses I bought them for 100,000, and then I see 250,000. I say, why not selling it?
I would agree.
I mean, to keep
Now,
it.
you're making a lot, quite a bit, enough that maybe you can move it into other ventures or other projects?
That's the reason I was thinking of moving here. That money I'm putting it somewhere to leave US, not to invest more in the US.
No, that's what I'm saying. So to
Yes.
help fuel your passion elsewhere.
Yes,
right?
yes, that's exactly.
So that you have it to inject into maybe other business opportunities.
That is correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so then that's 2 years ago. You sold those assets.
Yeah, I sold all of them
All of
when I
them?
see the market getting so high, and then 2 months later the market was going down.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
There's no way anyone could time that so well.
That is just 2 months after it started going. 6 months later, it's almost like going down way more.
Wow. Yeah, we definitely don't have a crystal ball, so we can't look at it and know. You just chose the perfect timing, mostly because you were ready to move on. And when did you make your descent, or you arrived here in the Dominican? We're in Puerto Plata, by the way.
November 2020, I came during COVID time to visit,
Okay.
and I came 2 months later. That was January, and that was around Cofesi, Puerto Plata area.
Okay.
And next to Ocean Wall, I was staying there in the house, and I'm looking at area. I say, wow, this area is really nice. I think that is a good place to have a business. I mean, and I look, and I see two Deacon building there, standing in a bad shape at that time.
Okay.
And I thought,
So you saw opportunity
I see
in
opportunity
something
right
that maybe wasn't well cared for, or even being used. Was it even being used? Like the property was?
No, it was unused.
It was
Nobody was
unused,
there.
yeah.
Nobody was there, and I'm asking around to see if. In my mind, it first said, I think I can have a hotel in my restaurant. I always thinking I want to have
Yes.
there. And I asked around. They say it's for sale, and I talk and negotiate price and everything. We did not agree, and I went back to the U.S.
Oh, so that
No,
initially
the
it didn't
first
work
The
out.
first negotiation didn't go well.
It's so important that people hear that it isn't always smooth sailing,
Yes,
right? So
it didn't go well.
yes, awesome.
And
Not that I wish you well. Like, I'm glad that you're saying that it didn't go well and that you sort of left it.
You know what? This is here as a foreigner. If you don't know how to negotiate, you're always gonna buy for a high price.
Yes, but you didn't though.
I still have a American mentality. I
Yes.
still buy high.
Oh, you still did
I
buy
still
it.
buy
Okay.
high. I know that after
After
4
the
5
transaction.
months.
Yeah.
I know I did. That happened.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, the thing I can say, dealing with the Dominican people, negotiation, they are good.
So they're good negotiators.
They are good.
So
They are good
hopefully you've since
negotiators.
aligned
Yeah, I mean,
yourself with some locals
Yes.
that can help you in your negotiation.
Yes,
Because
I mean, if you have to get your head on your shoulder when you negotiate with them, they're
Yes.
really good. That mean, to get something for the price that it is, I mean, you have to be good.
okay.
To negotiate with them. But
Well, I can understand and respect that because I mean I'm from Canada, the Toronto GTA area, which is very expensive. But I'm really good at walking away from deals.
Oh.
I'm really good at it. If it doesn't make sense and the numbers don't work for me, and even sometimes when the numbers work, I'm an investor and I'm a businesswoman. I want to make sure that there's an opportunity to buy slightly below.
yes.
So I've walked away from deals. So you walked away from it initially. When you came back to it,
Yes.
why did you come back? Because I think that's how I met you. I met you at that hotel restaurant. You eventually bought it and built.
It's 2 things that made me come back. Number 1, I was ready to leave.
You were ready to leave the U.S.
Because I've been processed this for 4 or 5 years. I just want to leave. I was ready. I already in the process of selling, put money aside, put everything aside. And I said, you know what, let me talk to the guy one more time. And I said the message and said, okay, about 2% more if you want it, I will go for it. And then also, when I see Ocean Road next to it,
Yes.
and I see lifestyle it's right in the middle, I
Yeah.
think it's a very good opportunity in the long term.
Okay.
And right around COVID, after COVID, I think the price would be cheaper, but it wasn't. But when I bought it, I mean, I have my partner. I mean, I say, okay, I'm having an idea. I want to have a business there. Would you mind doing it together? Agree, we want to do it together. And
Awesome.
I decided to do it. And I said, the guy, he dropped down from another 10%.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
So that's good.
But I still bought it for. I
slightly
bring
lower.
another 5%. I bring 15% down.
Okay. Okay.
But
Good.
it's still there. When I talk to the local people, they say that was expensive.
Well, they should have stepped up before.
I didn't have any
I
friend.
needed you several months before the
I
transaction,
didn't
not
have
after.
any friend during that
Yes,
time.
yes.
So what I mean, did not have any friend during
So
that time.
one
too.
of the things I'm hearing you say, especially when you're making a move and a transition to an unfamiliar area, is to make sure that you connect with some of the locals.
Yes.
You know, they could be experts, right? Because I think the experts will have a better handle of whether the price is right or how much further you could come down. So I'm sure lesson learned.
I mean, to invest in Dominican is a lot more good, but I don't want to say it's all good.
No, I agree.
So I mean, there is a lot of good thing, and it depends on what you want to invest. It depends on how you see your future and what you're doing. And the biggest problem personally I have during the time I'm here, I've been coming here and stay here, usually is employee.
Okay, so is it that it's challenging to build a staff or employees?
The challenging part of it is more developed and undeveloped country, or a country that's going up. You see what I mean? Because when you have this kind of business require customer service,
Yes.
they don't see customer service how we see it. You understand? Customer service is serving you, but it's not customer service in general. Is inspire people to buy from you. That's what it is. It's not serving you. So
That's that your philosophy is more that you're inspiring others.
Yes. For me,
your clientele.
for me, service is experience. If you come to me, you come to buy this from me. It's not just the buying it; it's the experience you're gonna have buying it
Okay.
that make me.
Yeah, and
Feel
make that
comfortable.
person want to come back.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because if let me go back to the hotel. When I opened the hotel in Puerto Plata, and I hire a manager, I said, first thing I said to him, if my review go 4.5, you fire.
So you set a bar for
Yes.
them.
Because I don't even see 4.40 in most of the hotel in here.
No. So what
And
do
if you review, check all the review, you will see it's lower than 4.
Oh, yeah.
And when you get that,
So
you say,
already you knew that from staffing here, employees here, they're not focused on giving the best customer
service.
experience.
And that doesn't mean they love working. The work part is good, but what I call, if you come here today, I want you to come tomorrow.
Yes.
And that is that.
And to continue coming.
But yes, and the other thing is making money. If we try to make money, maybe you will never make money. Because money doesn't make by try to make money. Money make by what you give.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yes,
For me,
yes, I see, I understand.
Whatever I do, I call it trade.
You call it, sorry?
a trade. I
Okay.
make you happy, you pay me for your happiness.
Yes.
It doesn't matter it's food. If you're happy to eat the food, you're gonna come back. And you
Yes.
pay me for that part. And I really focus more on service than the product.
Okay.
The product is the second one.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean I want to give you a bad product, but
No.
I want you to be happy before you even eat it.
But if you, yeah, and I agree with you, if the experience is good, then the person is going to continue. And it doesn't even sometimes matter what the product is.
No,
If the
doesn't
service
matter.
and experience is good.
I mean, that's
Okay.
the same thing. Why somebody buy a Maserati and another one by Kia.
Yes.
I mean, the Maserati is so expensive, right?
Yeah.
But how they sell that?
Yes.
They would sell it.
Yeah.
People would buy it. So what I mean? That means to sell it is they give you coffee, they give you drink, they would do whatever they want for you to that the
Get a
service.
5-star experience.
Exactly. Exactly. You make it look like a 5, but that's the idea. Whatever you do, it just make sure the people happy with before even give you the money.
Yes. Yes. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So you're here in the Dominican, and it sounds like you're loving it. You've been here now for how many years?
Living wise, almost like a year and 8 months now.
Okay.
But coming back and forth is almost 2.5 years.
So with the Sky, yeah, that's
It's 4.5 years.
it's a short time that you've been here, but you've done a number of projects. That Skylight Hotel and restaurant, you didn't keep it.
No,
You
I
didn't.
sold it.
You sold it. So
Yes, I did.
why? What was the like? What were you thinking? Like, what were you moving on to?
Two things. Number one is business. I'm picturing the same thing I said in the U.S. when I sell.
Yes.
I sell.
Okay.
Me and my partner, we see it slightly different in a
Okay.
little bit. I see before we see the same.
Okay.
Me on the ground see it different after.
Okay. And you're on the ground here in the
Here,
Dominican,
yes.
and they're not.
They're not. They're in
Okay.
the U.S. What I see in the ground is I want to have everything for long term. Good. There's
Yes.
nothing bad with it.
Yes.
But when I see people, most of the biggest investor, when I talk to them, they said, sell.
So, okay. And you're listening to the locals, you're listening to the experts, the people who have a bit more experience under their belt than you.
And selling, minimum in a year or two, 10 to 15%.
Okay.
And I sell for 2 reasons. We don't see the project same. And me, I build this.
Yes.
If I'm selling it one by one, I see about 20% and come right in.
Yes.
And for me to make 20 in 5 years, I can make 20
Now.
right now.
Yes. Yeah.
See what I mean?
Yeah. No.
And that is my. You can have it forever. You can have it forever, but how long you want to make your money?
Yes.
And I see if I'm selling that, and if you give me that money there, I'm walking away. Oh, sure, they buy it from me, and I
Yeah,
think.
makes sense. So, what did you move on to then, Henderson? Before we move on, what did you move on to?
I opened right after that. I opened a restaurant in Cabarete,
Okay.
and when I opened the restaurant, and it's not the same feeling that I have when I open the hotel.
Yes.
But I opened the restaurant because I see a location, a perfect location for having something upscale on the beach, because the beach is selling food more. How can I call those? Like fried food, whatever.
Okay, so more like fast food, quick
food,
service.
almost like quick
Yeah.
service. I mean, I'm thinking, in the beach, wow, there's a lot of people, we can do something more upscale on the beach. That's the idea I have in my head. And then I started that way. But when I realized it's a lot more work than I thought.
Yeah, sometimes
Way more
in our head,
work.
it all seems possible.
And then I find somebody said, I get it from you. I get the operation from you. And I give you almost the same amount of money you have in your head you will make. I said, oh, perfect. Perfect.
It's a no-brainer, time to sell.
I said, perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect time to sell.
I mean, offer me the money I would make if I was working physically
Yes,
to take it away from me. I said, you know what?
it makes sense.
It's yours.
It's yours. That's awesome. So,
And you pay me, you give me my money, I have no problem. I'm not there, I don't even know how it works. I just make my money and done.
awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've
But I
taken
do
on a
have
few.
next.
You have, yes.
I have the next one right here.
Yes.
I just opened a ice cream place. The ice cream place is it's
Called Wow, right?
It's called Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
You have to say the name.
Why is Wow?
Yes. Why?
Exactly. I'm asking. I always use Wow all the time. And I
It's an
realized
expression
people
from
say,
you.
it's the expression that I use a lot. Wow, wow, wow. I mean, I've never paid attention. I was saying it that much.
Okay.
And I said, oh, wow. And my friend said, was that the name? I said, what name? He said, we're talking about business. You just say, oh, wow. I said, we get that. This is the name.
That's awesome. So
Just like
the
that.
name was born just like that. That's
like
awesome.
This is it.
Yeah, love it.
And the idea of the ice cream place mostly is having something more foodie. You're in the country, there's a lot of food,
Yes.
right?
And natural too.
Natural,
Yeah,
everything.
natural.
And I said, okay, we're not buying ice cream from place. We're buying the machine, we're buying the food, and we're making fresh ice cream.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And everything, and then we do smoothie, we do milkshake, and we do anything that juice,
Yes.
everything fresh.
Awesome.
And
it's right on the beach too,
it's
this,
right
right?
next to the beach.
Yeah,
It's not
right
that
next.
far. And this idea been there for a long time too.
Yeah.
Because I drank more food stuff than eating more.
Yes.
I mean, it's a part of what I do.
And it makes sense actually in the Caribbean. It makes sense right here in the Dominican, right? Because you're gonna more people want to drink, and especially drinking local fruits and
It's
fresh
hot, too.
fruits. Yeah,
It's hot, man.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And
so
I'm taking
there's
the
a demand
franchise.
for it, and that's awesome. You feel that.
The demand is more when it's hot. The demand is higher.
Which it's hot today.
It's hot today, but
It's hot
this
today.
for us.
I know it's the
hot.
hottest, I
for
know,
us,
I
it's
know.
hot. It's not that hot for
Yes.
people that really live here.
Yes. No.
Hot is 95 degrees.
No, I can respect that. I do know what hot is. I'm saying for us in Canada,
This
and
is
from where you're from in Ohio.
This
Yes.
this is burning.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
true. But
So-
I'm thinking about franchise it.
Yes. Okay, so that's really awesome. Like you branded with a simple statement that you always made, wow, and now you're going to expand and franchise it. I love
Yes.
it. That's awesome.
The franchise more because you don't need a lot of employee, and that's one thing I don't.
Yeah.
It's only one person in the morning, one person in the afternoon, and done.
So it's a fairly simple
Simple
business.
thing,
Awesome.
and you still make good money in it.
Awesome.
Yes.
Excellent. I love it. So I'm going to ask you to share maybe one key takeaway from your own experience that you can share with our listeners and our audience, so that something that maybe you live by, a statement or a thought, before we wrap.
Okay. I have to think. I didn't know that
Okay.
question was coming.
Okay, so think about that, and while you're thinking about it,
Okay.
share with us how we can reach you. Like, what are your social handles, or how can someone get in touch with you?
I use Instagram and Facebook mostly.
Okay.
And
I'll provide those details.
it's Underseal.
Okay.
And the email address that gives you everything. If you
Okay.
my email, underseal@hotmail.com is
Okay.
ANDERSYL@hotmail.com.
Okay.
And
Okay.
if you, phone number, no.
No phone number.
Let's keep it
We'll,
social
yeah,
media.
they can DM you through Instagram and all of
Yeah,
that. We'll
yeah,
definitely give
yeah.
that. So if you do have one key takeaway or one thought that you've lived by or has sort of influenced your experiences.
My influence is always what's going on around me. And I believe of seeing things and how I can change that. And
Okay.
that's how I live all my life. I see this and I would like it to be blue instead.
Okay.
And I make it blue. It's not like I have anybody that I follow or any book that I read and I just go with the nature,
Yeah, what inspires
what
you
inspires
around you.
my eyes and to make it brighter.
Okay.
And my brighter is always brighter.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you
All right.
so much for
Thank
joining
you,
us today,
and I'm happy
Anderson.
that you choose me as one of your top.
I love having you. I mean, you inspired me, what was it, a year ago when I was here? I brought my husband,
Ah.
and we ate at your restaurant and hotel, and it was a great experience. So thank you very much for
Thank
joining
you too
us
for
today.
having me,
And
and
Enjoying our podcast? Stay connected beyond the episodes by following us on our other social media channels for exclusive content and updates. Don't forget to hit the subscribe, like, and share to help us grow and reach even more listeners. Your support means the world to us. Let's keep the conversation going.